As soon as my English lecture ended at 1:45, I rushed over to the main building to make wudu. When I was in school, we had a trough of fresh water to make the process of washing up for prayer much easier. Wudu is simple, but in a public place, it is no simple matter. So there I was, in between lectures, on my way to make wudu in the ladies' loo. When I arrived, I performed my regular washing up for prayer in public toilets ritual. I sought out the furthest, most private corner, and I placed my coat and bag on the hook. I looked around and avoided eye contact with anyone. I took off my jumper and I placed it on top of my coat. I then carefully removed the pins and brooch that were attaching my hijab, and I hastily stuck them in the fabric of my bag. I looked around. Everyone had gone. It was time for the next class. Thank God. I thought about the last time I had to do something in a public place that was, well, private. Like removing spinach from between your teeth, or subtly sneaking a napkin to your mouth to remove a tough piece of meat at your aunt's dinner table. I was relieved everyone had gone. I continued and I took off my shoes and socks and stuffed them into my bag. The hooks were covered with my bag, my jumper, my coat. I imagined a curious onlooker telling me, this isn't your dressing room, you know. But with time and prayer on my mind, I started to do wudu and splashed water on my face. I was washing my arms when I noticed out of the corner of my eye that someone had entered. It was a cleaner. I knew I should have done my wudu quicker while no one was in the ladies. I knew someone would walk in. She started sweeping the floors, slowly. I was uneasy but focused, but I could feel the intensity of her gaze as the silence between us grew louder. She continued watching me as I placed my right foot in the sink to wash my ankle and in between my toes. Before I could get to my second foot, she left. I was relieved. Momentarily. I heard a voice from outside in the hallway. She's putting her foot in the sink. What? Yeah, she's putting her foot in the sink. I could feel a blush of heat across my face. Even the beats of my heart grew louder and my stomach began to flip with embarrassment. Then I thought, just pull yourself together. You shouldn't let someone unsettle you for wudu. Just then, a different cleaning lady came in by herself. By this time, I was finished and I fixed my hijab. She tilted her head, examining my face and the entire loo. She walked over towards the door and called out to the first lady out in the hallway. No one's washing their feet in the sink. Silence. I said, no one's washing their feet in the sink. The voices of the conversation faded. I removed my clothing from the hooks and walked out of the loo to find a small group of cleaning ladies standing outside, whispering. I stopped in front of the lady who had seen me putting my foot in the sink, fully intending to explain myself and very pleased with a brilliant educational opportunity. I smiled and said matter-of-factly, I was putting my foot in the sink to purify myself for ritual prayer. Muslims must wash their face and arms and feet before we pray. But this time, it was the cleaner who seemed relieved.
Well, that's a lot. We were afraid you were homeless and had no place to take a bath. What a relief.
And there was I, thinking that I must have looked weird. I guess we all have something to learn. I then went off to pray.